Hello, everybody.
Good afternoon, officer. How are you doing today?
Doing very well.
All right. I understand there are no changes to the docket. We're all ready to go, correct?
Correct.
All righty. Thank you. First up today is going to be Clifford Eccles, then. Good afternoon, Mr. Eccles.
How you doing, Mr. Stansbury?
I'm doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. I appreciate that. You're here in front of me today because the probation department has filed a motion for oral hearing, aka a probation revocation action. So they should have given you a copy of that motion. Did you receive that?
Right here, sir.
Did you get a chance to look at it? Do you understand what they're claiming you did to violate?
Yes, I understand, and, well, yes, I understand.
Okay. So because your case belongs to Judge George, the only authority that I have is to go ahead and have you either admit, or deny the violation. And regardless of what you do, the only authority I have is to set a bond and then send it back to Judge George.
Okay.
Admitting is like pleading guilty to violating your probation. Denying is like pleading not guilty. You are presumed not to be in violation of your probation. You have the right to an attorney, and of course, you're eligible to ask the court to appoint one to represent you if you wanted to. You have a right to have a hearing where you could question your accusers, compel the attendance of your own witnesses, and testify or not without it being held against you if you didn't. So, do you understand all that?
I do, sir.
And how do you wish to proceed today? Do you want to admit or deny?
Deny, sir.
What is your current address?
My current address, well, as you know from the last time, I'm trying to get a home. Unfortunately, I still don't have a home. I don't have an address to give you except for the one that we were evicted from, which was dang, I don't even remember the address. It's been so long. I've been like 3 months without a home, but I'm working a full-time, as you know, for FedEx. I just got promoted to a manager, so I'm trying to get a home. I just had my baby 3 days before getting arrested, so I don't have any address, but Avenue is the best address I can give. But I do have an email at gmail.com where you can contact me. But I can get my mom's address. She just moved in while all this was happening, and that's where I'll be because I'm her caretaker. So, but I don't know that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I've had an opportunity to review the report from the probation department. I'm going to deviate from their recommendations as far as the bond is concerned. I'm going to set bond at $10,000 cash or surety only. You are to report to the probation department if you post that bond, but this case is now going to be scheduled for a contested hearing in front of Judge George. They'll get notice to you at whatever address you put there on that bond paperwork that you're going to sign off on down there. So make sure it's good. And if you're still incarcerated, it'll go to you down there. But if you are going to be getting out, make sure that we know how to reach you, and you can follow your own case online so you won't miss any hearings. Any questions?
I will. Yes, I will do that. Can I please ask for a temper? I don't have any cash, sir. I literally just had my baby on the 25th. I got arrested 3 days later. Can I get a 10%? I don't have any major funds, or I'm asking for an OR actually, please.
I understand that, and I know you're going to disagree with my decision. I'll go ahead and leave that to the discretion of Judge George since it's his case, but I'm going to leave the bond as I've set it for today. Any other questions?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Eccles. You may go with the officer. Nicole Taylor? There you are. You're Miss Taylor?
Yes, I am.
All right. Miss Taylor, do you understand your rights in court today?
Yes, I do.
Did you receive a copy of the motion for oral hearing?
Yes.
Did you read it?
I got it right here.
Yeah. Did you read it?
Yes, I did.
You understand that they're seeking to have your probation revoked on the basis of a failure to successfully complete amended reads. So your case was assigned to me. So you've got a couple of options here today. You can either deny the allegation, which is like pleading not guilty, in which case we'll set a bond, we'll schedule a hearing, you'll have the right to ask for an attorney if you'd like one. Or you can admit, which is basically like pleading guilty, in which case, because your case is assigned to me, I'd simply make the decision about what the appropriate consequence would be for the violation. So, do you understand what your two choices are?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And as I mentioned, or if I didn't mention it, let me say it for the first time. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are eligible to ask the court to provide one at no cost. So with that understanding, do you want to admit or deny?
Deny.
Okay. All right. Now, what is your current address? If you weren't incarcerated, where would you be?
Zanesville, Ohio, 43701 is the zip code.
And who lives there?
My friend, I'm living with my friend right now.
And you got arrested over the weekend? Or
It
last
was on
Thursday?
Thursday. Yes, sir. It was Thursday.
Now, did Meted Reeds transport you back up from Portsmouth to Newark?
Yes, they transported me from Ironton, Ohio, back to probation. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then when you got to probation, they went ahead and took you into custody?
Yes.
All righty. Well, anything you want to say before I set your bond?
I just would like an attorney.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Now, they have the applications available for you down there at the jail. I am going to adopt the recommendation of probation and set your bond at $5,000 cash or surety only. No drug use, obviously, no use of any alcohol. If you are able to post your bond, you are required to report to the probation department immediately upon your release. And if you're not going to be able to post your bond, the jail should send your application for an attorney down here. If you are going to get out, you'll have to turn it in. But they have them available. Just ask one of the officers for them. Any questions?
No.
All right. We'll get a new date set, and unless you get a lawyer, we'll send that notice directly to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor. All right. Next up, we have Tricia Beebe.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Is it Beebe? Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Beebe, you're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest this summer when you didn't show up for your trial. Your case has been assigned to me, so you have a couple of options. One is you can stand on your plea of not guilty, in which case I'm going to set a bond for you today and we're going to get a new court date scheduled. Or if you want, you can change your plea from not guilty to guilty or no contest and get it over with today. It's entirely up to you. So how do you want to proceed?
No contest?
You want to change your plea to no contest?
Yes, I do. I was hoping that it could be possible that I could be released today, so that I could get home to my baby. He just turned 2, and my mother has him, and she's sick, and I'm just really trying to get back to my kids.
Okay.
I'm in Columbus.
We'll keep the not guilty plea in place. This says you got picked up from Jackson Pike. So how long have you been over in the Franklin County Jail?
I was there for 2 weeks.
Okay. Now, is your case over there resolved? Is it finished? Or
It is.
Yes?
It is finished.
Is it a misdemeanor or a felony case?
It was a misdemeanor.
Okay. Are you on probation now?
No.
Okay. You just did 2 weeks and they gave you time served?
Yes.
What is your current address, Miss Beebe?
It's apartment B, not apartment A.
B is in boy?
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you the $64,000 question. Why didn't you show up for your trial back in July?
I didn't get the mail, and I wasn't able to get a bride.
So how do you plan on getting back over here if I let you out today?
I have a friend who is willing to drive me to court, so I have a way to court now. And with the change of address, I should get the mail and know exactly. I'm living in Columbus now. I wasn't living in Columbus before, but I am now, so I'll most definitely get the mail and know when I have court.
Well, you can track your own case online at our website as well, so there's really no excuse to miss court because you didn't know when it was. So I'm going to cut you a break today. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. But I want to be clear, if you fail to appear again and you get picked up on that warrant, and I am the judge that you see to get a new bond, it's not going to be an OR next time. You understand that? Now, one other thing, Ms. Beebe, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. You can hire one, but you're also eligible to ask us to provide one for free. This is not Franklin County. We do not have a public defender's office, but you can get an application for court-appointed counsel there at the jail. Since you're getting out, however, it's going to be your responsibility to get that turned in. If you show up on the day of your trial and say, "Oh, Judge, I never got around to asking for a lawyer," I will not give you a continuance that day. Do you understand that?
I completely
All
understand
right.
that.
Any other questions today, Ms. Beebe?
No,
Then you may go with the officer. We'll see you next time.
thank you.
Ryan Callahan. Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Callahan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Callahan, do you understand your rights in court today?
Yes.
Did you receive a copy of the 2 complaints that were filed in your case?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated menacing, a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, which is up to 180 days in jail, up to a $1,000 fine. You've also been charged with domestic violence by threats, which is a 4th degree misdemeanor. That's up to 30 days, up to a $250 fine. Understand?
Yes.
Now, you have the right to have me read those complaints out loud in their entirety, but it's not required. So would you like for me to read them or no?
No.
Okay. How do you want to plead?
Not guilty.
What is your current address?
Reynoldsburg, Ohio, 43068.
And are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
Resurfacing technician.
And who do you work for?
Miracle Method?
Is that like fixtures, cabinets, things like that?
No, like floors, countertops, bathtubs, showers.
And how long have you worked for this company?
4 years.
All right, let me take a quick look here at the file, and then we're going to address your bond, so just sit tight for me, all right? Mr. Callahan, I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance on several conditions. Number one, you're not to have any violent contact with any family or household members. Well, actually, let's just say anyone. So no
Yes, sir.
violent contact with anyone. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. That's beyond just guns. It includes knives, crossbows, what have you. And then finally,
Yes,
Mr. Callahan, you're not to consume any alcohol or use any drugs while the bonds are in place. Now, this case
Yes,
will be
sir.
randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Until and unless an attorney gets involved on your behalf, those notices will go directly to you. So make sure your address is correct on the bond paperwork. But you can track your own case at our website anyway, so there's no excuse to miss court due to lack of knowledge. Now, if you're going to get an attorney, you want to hire your own, deal with that right away after you're released. If you're going to go for court-appointed counsel, meaning you want to
Yes.
ask the court to give you one for free, grab an application there at the jail, but since you're being released, it'll be your responsibility to get it turned in. Under no circumstance should you wait until the day of your trial to deal with getting an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, any other questions today?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it possible I was brought in? I have no clothes, shoes. I don't have my wallet, keys.
Yeah, those should be in your property down there at the jail when you're discharged. They'll return that to you.
No, what I'm saying is that they brought me in naked. I have, like, literally.
I don't think
So
they're
I
going to
have
kick
no-
you out naked, but they may make you return that jail uniform once you get home and get home.
I understand. I just don't know how to get home because I have nobody to call. I have no way to get home. So is there any way to be transported back home and I can pay the court?
I can't, number one, in 14 plus years, I've never been asked that. Number two, I can't order it. Number three, talk with the folks at the jail. You're not going to be the first person in those circumstances. I'm sure they have some tips for you. All right?
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Thank you.
It's worth a shot.
All right, next we have Patricia Campbell. Good afternoon, Miss Campbell.
Hello.
You understand your rights today?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by a note. You understand your rights, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get a copy of the complaint?
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yes, sir, I did.
And do you understand you've been charged with trespass as a misdemeanor of the 4th degree?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's up to 30 days, up to a $250 fine, maximum penalties. Now, you have a right to have me read your complaint out loud if you want me to, but it's not required. Would you like me to do that or not?
No, it's
How
okay.
do you want to plead?
Guilty. I didn't understand that I was even on their property. I thought I was on Duke and Dutch's property because I had been working for them, doing some work for them. And they told me the day before that I couldn't be on that one corner of property, and I thought it was the Duke and Dutch's property, which I misunderstood.
Okay.
And I went further down in front of Cole's, not even knowing that it was Cole's from the beginning.
Well, let me ask you a few questions. You know how this goes. I got to make sure you're doing this of your own free will. You know that you're presumed to be not guilty, right?
Yeah.
And you understand that it's always the prosecutor's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before a person can be convicted, right?
All right.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you couldn't afford one, we'd give you one for free. Was it your intention to give up that right and just get your case over today?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, whether you have a lawyer or not, you have a right to a trial. You have a right to question your accusers. a right to subpoena your own witnesses to compel their attendance, and a right not to testify without it being counted against you. However, you'll give up those rights if you plead guilty because you admit that you did it and they don't have to prove anything. Understand?
Right.
I will sentence you if I accept your plea here today. Did you understand the maximum possible penalties?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
No.
And lastly, Ms. Campbell, are you still a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Anything else you want to say about what happened? You painted a pretty good picture for me earlier.
Well, I wasn't certain that I was even on Cole's property. I mean, I thought I was off of Duke and Dutch's property, and I thought that's where I was signed the papers the day before, where I thought they were the ones that barred me, not Cole at all. Because I was on the property previously up by Duke and Dutch's, and I was under the impression that Duke and Dutchess was the ones that were barring me, not Cole's at all. So I moved down that other end and sat down there, and here I found out it was Cole's all along. And I was like, well, you guys told me yesterday Duke and Dutchess.
Can't win for losing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to impose a $50 fine on the
minute.
costs, and I'm going to sentence you to serve 3 days in jail and give you credit for time served. So you're done.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.